horse. Levi was surprised to find that these cavalrymen and the horses on their hips were covered in twigs and branches. Constantly attacking the two back and forth, Anna was shifting her position and was caught up by the cavalry behind her and pounced on the ground. But Anna was a special forces officer and subdued the hollow man with her backhand. At the same time, another hollow man was pestering Levi. But Levi seized the moment and first used his rifle to knock down the weird hollow horse and then took out the downed hollow man. And Levi discovered even more disturbing details when he crouched down to closely examine them. They were wearing uniforms from the 1940s. And looking at them, Levi guessed that these were the 2,400 cavalrymen who had been sent down at the end of World War II. But what had happened to make them look like this? And the two men intended to move on. The sight in front of them was even more horrifying, all intertwined with various human skeletons and tree trunks, as if people had mutated into plants. Crossing the area, they came to an abandoned building area where the ground was covered in cracks that Levi was sure were caused by an earthquake. Hissing noises came from all around them once again, and the two of them quickly ducked into the church behind them. There were still some long dead people sitting on the church pews. All that was left was a pile of white bones wrapped in cobwebs. Levi sniffed the locket in the hands of the white bones and realized that it contained cyanide, guessing that these people had killed themselves, which made the two men wonder what kind of horror could make people prefer to end their lives. Just as Anna looked up to check the church roof, a spider-like monster appeared. Immediately after that, countless monsters made up of human skulls launched a frantic attack on them like a tidal wave. Although the two are longtime special forces to deal with the ease, but at the same time a few hollow people also broke in. While in the spider skeletons, not their own kind of hollow people are indiscriminate attacks. This is not the way. Anna immediately decided to use grenades to blow a way out. The two from the blast hole escaped. The two ran for some distance, but around the ear from time to time came the strange roar. The two have been overrun to a bomb shelter. The two have been overrun to a bomb shelter. Has been running ahead to a bomb shelter. They rushed into the bomb shelter to look for escape opportunities, but found that the scene inside is even more shocking. There are bizarre vines everywhere. The research room is strewn with a variety of deformed human remains. These bones have fingers up to 1 meter long. There are spinal deformation and head of a strange plant. Soon Levi found a videotape, may be able to reveal the truth of what has happened here. They found the generator that still runs at this military base and played the videotape truth. It turns out that in 1946, this was the Alliance's top-secret base. In addition to nuclear bombs in the late stages of World War II, the USSR Alliance also developed destructive biological missiles. But unfortunately, this place was struck by a major earthquake of magnitude 8, which led to severe damage to the facility's biochemical weapons leakage, and the genes of various organisms in the canyon began to mutate and merge. Although people with strong immunity would not be affected for the time being, once infected they would show symptoms of mutation within 5 days. In order to prevent the spread of poisonous gas, many people chose to self-sacrifice. Levi judged that within a few hours there should not be infected. It was imperative to find a way to escape as soon as possible. Soon, he found computer equipment in another room, which looked like it should be a product of the late 2000s, and after opening the computer, they discovered a deeper secret. It turned out that a paramilitary organization called the Black Tigers had taken over, and instead of choosing to blow up the canyon, they had continued to develop biochemical weapons and used drones to collect the hybrid genes from the place in a vain attempt to create super soldiers, which was the biggest secret of the place. The two of them were sent on a mission to actually guard this terrible secret. Then Levi opens a file called Stray Dog and discovers that this is the canyon's self-destruct program. Once the canyon is exposed, the program will automatically activate and the heat radiation safety zone will reach 4.2 kilometers. The two decide to return to the exit immediately to escape. But before they leave, Levi pours his heart out to Anna. "If we don't get out of here, I have no regrets about dying, because I met you." Anna responded, "We met the hard one, the next more to go all out." However, when they arrived at the door, but found that the backpack previously put down is missing, Levi quickly realizes that these hollow men seem to possess intelligence, and opens the door to see the backpack sitting in a clearing on the far side. But no sign of any enemies can be seen around. In order to avoid being discovered by the enemy, Anna threw 2 smoke bombs to cover. But when he got the backpack the moment or fall into the hollow men's trap, Anna was dragged by the cavalry all the way. On the way to a tree branch hit fainted. Levi followed the trail all the way to pursue. He came to a huge biochemical missile silo. He knew that Anna must be at the bottom of this silo. Fortunately, Anna is still alive, just temporarily lost consciousness. The hollow man walks up and terrorizes her. Anna jolted awake and kicked her in the face, then fell from a great height. This completely enraged the hollow man. He drew out his saber, crazy chopping. But fortunately Anna's hands are agile to avoid the fatal attack again and again. In the process of the fight, Anna picked up the torch on the ground and hit the hollow man with the torch on the shoulder. Just this as Levi arrived, a shot the hollow man, and then made up a complete result of the results of the shot. The shocked Anna went up to tightly embrace the Levi. It was then that Levi realized that the trooper turned out to be Shore, the first soldier to guard the western tower. The hollow man was named after him, and in order to get out of the missile silo, he had to cross the catwalk in front of him, next to the biochemical missiles that had been damaged by the earthquake and were constantly emitting toxins outwards. All of the once staff members were infected and mutated. They turned into individual nodes on the giant vines, breathing rhythmically, indicating that they were sleeping quietly, as long as they weren't disturbed. Walking across the catwalk would get them out of the launcher. And then there would be an accident, if nothing else, due to the fact that the vine mans were so dense Anna stepped on one of them by accident. Levi took his saber and slashed as he walked towards the other side, but as he was about to reach it, a tentacle grabbed his leg. Anna quickly flew over to try to free the tentacle, but realized she wasn't strong enough. In order to save Levi, she shot the last grenade to burn down the entire vine man. The two escaped from the transmitter to a warehouse, found a military jeep, also equipped with a crosswheeler for climbing. You can climb up the canyon along the wire. So the two hurriedly get into the car at full speed, rushed to the location of the steel cable. Levi is responsible for hooking up to the crosswheeler, while Anna is wary of the surrounding hollow men, with the jeep full power winches turn and start to work, a little using the zip line to pull the jeep upward. But when they are about to climb out of the smoke, the jeep's power is getting slower and slower, looking towards the bottom. It turned out to be a group of hollow men chased up. They grabbed the rope towards the top climb. The two people have been shot out of bullets, can only use cold weapons to fight against the hollow men. Then more and more hollow men came like a tidal wave. Without hot weapons, the two men were difficult to fight. This is a hollow man almost pounced on Levi. Fortunately, he grabbed the iron bar at the rear of the car in time. Levi followed the trend to break the tank at the rear of the car. The gasoline fell down the steel cable, climbed back to the car. He ignited a flare stick and threw it down. The flames instantly spread upwards and engulfed the climbing hollow men. The two men made the decision at the moment to cutting the steel cable. The car fell sharply. In the violent explosion, they finally got rid of this group of terrible pursuers, escaped from this hellish abyss. Back on the ground, the two made a big decision to blow up this canyon and go far away, after a short farewell. Levi returned to his sentry tower and prepared to routinely report to his superiors, but this time the attitude of the higher-ups was obviously different. The higher-ups suddenly began to take the initiative to talk to Levi and asked him if he had ever been to the canyon. Levi calmly replied that he hadn't. The higher-ups changed their words and said that they had found that the computer system below the canyon had been activated, and that if it wasn't Levi who had gone down there, it must have been the people from the sentry tower on the opposite side who had done it, and the higher-ups then ordered Levi to tackle the people on the opposite side. Levi agreed without hesitation, but the senior management had long seen Levi and Anna together through the computer camera. This conversation further confirmed Levi's betrayal. The senior management immediately decided to personally go to solve these two traitors. The next day, Levi and Anna respectively in their respective signal towers loaded with bombs, ready to destroy the signal tower to induce Stray Dog's plan, while using binoculars silently watching each other. The two did not forget to flirt. Suddenly the distant roar of the helicopter. Levi saw the Black Tiger logo on the fuselage, immediately shouted for Anna to escape. The two quickly ran towards the woods. While looking at the distance calculator, senior agents searched the sentry towers, but found that the two were gone, so they started the drone chase, both holding a sniper rifle, looking at the distance calculator, and kept on running until after running out of 3,800 meters only. Then did they stop and set up their sniper rifles to detonate the bombs mounted on the sentry tower respectively. 3,800 meters was the distance at which both of them could hit the bombs accurately. As long as one signal tower explodes through the line laid before, other signal towers will also be chain detonated, the alarm sound with the recall, losing the frequency of the signal tower. The canyon will be exposed to the satellite. The Stray Dog plan will then start. The high level and his party only have 2 minutes to escape. Levi and Anna have already evacuated to a position close to the safety line. As long as they run a little bit further, they will be able to avoid being affected. The high level panicked and boarded the helicopter. The moment the bomb explodes, everything in the canyon will also be reduced to ashes. The high level plane was also affected by the violent explosion. Anna managed to escape from the explosion range, while Levi leg injuries and ultimately by the shockwave of the air waves into the water. Anna looks back at the other side of the river, expecting Levi to escape as well. The two had agreed that if they both survived, they would need to live alone for 5 days to confirm whether they had a genetic mutation, and if they did, they would end themselves. Anna drew a mark for every day that passed in the cave until the 5th day, when she confirmed that she didn't have a genetic mutation before she left the cave, and she and Levi agreed to live a secluded life together in a small town in France. Every day she comes to the agreed place and waits for Levi to show up, but every day the waiting turns into disappointment until April, when she gets a job as a waitress at a local restaurant. Anna was about to serve drinks to the guests, but turned her head and saw Levi was sitting on a chair looking at her. Levi, in accordance with their first acquaintance when the communication method, write down on paper the menu they want to order, and finally the two embraced sweetly together. While this issue here, the original film is far more than the narration is more exciting, interested viewers can go to see the original film. Your attention is my continued to update the power of the thank you for watching.